Hi, I'm Denise and I'm here today to talk about using Boomwhackers in your music classes. Do a little bit of an overview of the Thanksgiving unit at Music Play Online, as it's November, and November of course is Thanksgiving for our American friends. And I'm going to talk about lessons for November week 2. So I'm going to start with Boomwhackers. We have a wonderful section for teaching Boomwhackers at Music Play Online. You do have to be logged in as a teacher to use it, because kids at home don't have Boomwhackers. They're not going to be able to use them. So student access isn't possible for this section. So the Boomwhackers section is organized, number one, by the number of tubes that you need. And there is some really useful teaching materials here along the side. So one of the reasons that I suggest Boomwhackers in this year in particular, they're really easy to sanitize. If it's at all possible, I might be tempted to assign a Boomwhacker to a particular student, put a piece of painter's tape on with the student's name so that nobody else touches it and you assign it. If you don't have enough Boomwhackers that you have to use them for multiple classes, then just have the students come up and you either wipe or you spray after the class, let them sit for as long as they're supposed to sit, and then you can use them for the next. So plastic is definitely easier to disinfect than lots of other materials. So in this Boomwhacker section, there's 2 kids demos here, and these really can help you with classroom management. If you're handing out Boomwhackers to kids, what's the first thing that they want to do? The first thing that the kids want to do is to play. They want to hit that thing and explore it. So by playing copycat with them, it helps out of them. Continue at all. So it could be me leading the copycat game. It could be a student leading the copycat game. But I start a lot of my Boomwhacker classes with that because it does manage the behaviors. Is again it's a demonstration of a way that I get kids doing improvising. I go first and demo. I do 8 beats in between, so the next child has a chance to 8 beats to think. 6, 7, 8. 8 beats so the next one can think. And of course the kids feed off each other and they get ideas from each other, so those were sounding quite similar. But improvising is a great way. If you can shorten the number of beats that you do between to 4 beats or even to no beats, even better. Then your students are going to have a nice improvising experience. Also in the teacher's tools is this interactive Boomwhacker. We've made this available to students in the instruments so that if you want them to have a melodic instrument that they can play, they can actually play this. And it also shows them how you build chords. And if I go to the menu and I go to the next level, I like these chords even better because they show exactly what colors form each chord. So I have with me a red C, a yellow E, and a green G, and I can make that C chord with the Boomwhackers that I have. I'm not sure if I can play all 3 at the same time. Let's give it a try. So if your students have Boomwhackers, this is a great way to teach who plays for the C chord, Who plays for the F chord? Who plays for a G7 chord? And if you're lucky, you sometimes get to play with a whole bunch of them. If I go back to my menu and I go to chord progressions, if I want to do a 2-chord song, I could do a 2-chord song, or I can show them F to C and have the F's play 8 times, the C's play 8 times. These are good things to practice, and of course there's lots of 2-chord songs that you could play along with them. Now for our littlest people, we have word highlights, and these word highlights are intended for your K's or your 1s so that they can practice playing 2-note so-me songs or so-me-la songs. Especially this year when the students can't sing, this is a way for them to be able to read melodies and play melodies even if they can't sing them. So the green is my first note, rain, and my yellow is my next note. So I'm going to play rain, rain, go away, another day. So that's a fun activity for your little ones to do if you're doing a reading song. And the Boomwhacker arrangements, if I'm doing a song like Rain, Rain, if I search for Rain, Rain, of course there's lots of rain songs in music play. I want Rain, Rain from kindergarten. Let's see if I put go in here, it eliminates a few. There we go. I want kindergarten, Rain, Rain. And if I look in the concept slides and I go towards the end of the concept slides, I thought I had the Rain, Rain Boomwhacker in here, but I guess we don't. We have the Rain, Rain story. Oh, there we go. We do have it, but it's in kind of in the middle of concept slides. Rain, Rain story is at the end of the concept slides. So back to the Boomwhacker section. And I'm going to talk about the sequencing. For your little people, you might want to stick with just 3 or 4 notes. But the problem with using only 3 or 4 notes is, if I'm using G, E, and C, I don't have enough Boomwhackers in my classroom for everybody to have a tube. Kids would have to take turns. If I go up to the 5-note songs instead, C, D, E, F, G, I don't need as many 3, 4. To practice on my hand staff, C, D, E, F, G. I might get out my this. If I go into units and I go into the theory unit, devices. A clef is given at the beginning of each staff. The treble clef circles the note G, and it's used for higher notes. And we could do this. A clef is given at the beginning of each staff. The treble clef circles the note G. The treble clef is used for higher notes. And then we practice dragging these two. These are how the lines are numbered. They're numbered from the bottom to the top. I can drag the fingers of my hand staff over so that they know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. And then I'm going to place the notes on the line. Notes can be placed in spaces, drag the hand staff spaces. So this is a much more lengthy review than the one that's in the Boomwhacker section. So you might want to take a week or two to go over the staff before starting this, or else just do the quick view and teach them that these are the notes that we really want to focus on: C, D, E, F, and G. And then you go into the 5 notes section. So all of the 5 notes here use C, D, E, F, and G, and they're all sequenced rhythmically as well. So you notice here we have video, here we have a slideshow. Slideshow is perfect for the 1-page songs. The front page of this shows me what notes I need to use, C, D, E, F, and G. If I want to accompany with Boomwhacker chords, it shows me the Boomwhacker chords. It shows me the ukulele chords. So if I have 2 or 3 students that are really good at ukulele, they might opt to accompany our songs with ukulele. And here's where we get to practice. So I would practice unaccompanied first. If I'm going to play the C and the D, I need the red and the orange. C, E, E, F, G, F, E, E, C, E, E, F, F, G, 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 F, E, C. If you've got a very strong student and you want to challenge them more, give them 2 tubes instead of 1 tube. We do have accompaniment tracks, and they're nice and slow, so you can play along with them. So the first time that we give a song, we give it with the letter names embedded right on the note. That's called kids' notes. The next time, we just have the colored notation. So it's hints. Big C is red, D is orange, and the third time we give it, we actually use regular notation, but we include the chord symbols so that if you have a large enough class that some can play chords and some can play melody, you can switch off. So the sequencing is done for you, and kids doing this will learn how to read notes. They will learn how to read staff notation. So C, D, E, F, G. We introduce A, and then we have C, D, E, F, G, A, and we have some with just C, D, E, G, A, but these are all sequenced again so that you can work your way through these. What I have found in my class visits with Boomwhackers is that if they do about 15-20 minutes of note reading songs, that's lots for them. And then it's fun to go into some games. And we have a list of games here that will work with Boomwhackers. So Opus on it is a stick passing game we can't pass, but we could make up patterns that we do with the Boomwhacker. Peas Porridge Hot is a clap game. And if I'm clapping it, peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old, yuck. I can do it instead with Boomwhackers, and then I'm not touching my neighbor. If you have enough Boomwhackers so each have 2, you can play all your clap games as stick games. Peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old, and you use these as your sticks for the stick game. The stick games my kids truly love. This is a Maori stick game, and Sarah Sponda is a stick game built for the song Sarah Sponda. Let's look at that one. So if I click on this, it's going to take me to the song list where I have a kid's demo that shows how to play the Sarah Sponda game. So that's a fun version, and you can do it with Boomwhackers instead of with sticks. So the games are really fun, and most of the games that are replacing clap games, you can still do with the Boomwhackers as long as you have 2 per student. So, Boomwhacker printables, kids demos for classroom management tools, interactive Boomwhacker, and you can use these to teach the kids your chords and chord progressions. I really like this method of teaching chords. You saw that we had the little chord symbols for every song, but this is a much bigger visual, especially if I make it full screen, for the students to be able to see what notes play in the C chord, what notes play in the G chord. And if I go to the one with chord progressions, I'm going to put my C and my G out. Notice the G plays in both the C and it plays in the G. So these tools are helpful. Kids have fun playing with them. You can use the interactive Boomwhacker as a melodic instrument for your students to play any of the melodies that they want to. And you have over 100 songs in the 5, 6, and 7 note section so that you can teach the kids to read notes. And like I say, about 20 minutes of reading notes, go in and do some games. Now here, this tab goes to pop and classical. And this takes you to musication play-alongs. And what we've done for you here is we've leveled them so that you can see which ones are easy, which ones are hard. If you've just finished Halloween, you might have found the Ghostbusters one. We're coming into Christmas, so here is Frosty the Snowman that you can play on Boomwhackers. We link to them via SafeTube. Actually, we're going to be changing all these links to SafeShare TV. SafeShare is a little less glitchy than SafeTube. And we've got the Boomwhacker play-alongs. So if I have only one tube, I know. Now, you can see right away, I have a little bit of a problem with the fact that I didn't want that. I have a little bit of a problem with musication in that they give the letter names only and they don't put it on a staff. So even though the musication links are fun and they're fun to play with, I don't think it's as good a learning tool as teaching them to read staff notation because they're really just learning to read letter names. However, it's fun, kids like them, and there's some pop songs on the musication site, and the kids will really enjoy playing along with those. So I would say your 20 minutes you spend on reading staff notation, then find some games, and then go to the musication links as kind of a reward at the end. I was going to I had noticed that there was a Thanksgiving song in here. I'm thankful, and I'm not sure which area it was in. I'm looking for I'm thankful. Maybe it's in the 7 notes. There it is. I'm thankful. So let's look at the slideshow. We need C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We need the full scale. And we've got the kids' note notation first. I'll make that bigger because it's a bit small. So, and again, we can play along with the accompaniment. So this is a Thanksgiving song. So if you're one of our American teachers, there you go. There's a nice lesson for your students that uses a Thanksgiving song. So I'm thankful I found it in the 7-note song section, and I wanted to share with you before I'm finished today, I wanted to share with you the Thanksgiving unit and go over the Thanksgiving unit. So festivals and holidays is one of our big unit sections, and Thanksgiving is right here. So these are all related songs from Music Play that are, you can click on them and it will link. There's the I'm Thankful song, a vocal version of it. So you can teach the kids to read it as well as to play it. We Are Thankful Children is a beautiful choral piece. And we had a choir from the Maritimes perform this for us and make us a lovely kids demo of it. Beautiful choir sound. And won't it be nice when we can have our kids singing in a choir like that again? Here's a single song kit. These are extra PDFs that are extra Thanksgiving activities. So here is the vocals for We Are Thankful song. Here's a color by note. As a background, and you can have the kids do it, or you can offer it to them as a printable if you're in person. There's the finished product of it. Here's a rhythm maze. And clap the patterns as you find your way to the pumpkin patch. Use this as a center where pairs of students clap rhythms to lead each other. I could write even then some more. I hope you cannot even think of half you're thankful for. On creating an accompaniment for a poem with word highlights and then with ostinato, and you can choose which way you would like to accompany the poem. If you're doing even then some more. I hope you cannot even think of half you're thankful for. And if even think of half you're thankful for. I did that wrong. I made a mistake at the end. So it's tricky enough to challenge me. It'll be tricky enough to challenge your older students to do that. Then we have a Thanksgiving word composition. And this is done 2 levels. First level uses only the words turkey and pie. 2 things I really, really love. I've decided I'm going to celebrate American Thanksgiving and Canadian Thanksgiving every year from now on because of turkey. I love pie too. So there's our word rhythm, level 1. Turkey, turkey, pie, 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 turkey, pie. If I like it, I keep it. If I don't, I change it. I'm going to find a shaker. and I'm going to do turkey on my shaker, and I'm going to do pie on my sticks, and I'm going to play my sticks so I can play both parts. Play with me. Turkey, turkey, pie, 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 turkey, pie. I could do that poem from the previous activity as an A section, my word rhythms as a B section, and then my poem again as an A. Or I could take one of the turkey songs that's in Music Play Online. We have 5 Fat Turkeys, Fastest Turkey. We have Turkey Lurkey. I Like Turkey is in grade 1. It's a little chase game. I like turkey. I like ham. I like running. Catch me if you can. Turkey, turkey, pie, 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 turkey, pie. I like turkey. I like ham. I like running. Catch me if you can. So lots of ways that you can use this. So those are some Thanksgiving ideas. In the online learning modules that I'll go through next, we will show you how I have done Thanksgiving options, as well as a lesson if you're not in the United States and you don't celebrate Thanksgiving in November. Taking you to the online learning modules and seeing what there is for November and December. So first thing to note, I have updated the month outlines to include November, and you can download and you can print these out. And then I've got a pretty good idea of what's coming in each of the modules. This week is going to be accurate. Going forward, if I change things, I will update these PDFs. So they're not set in stone. I always say this is a plan, this is not a promise. And I reserve the right to change my mind. But all of these plans are here in month outlines. It gives you the song list. And each of these is done in 3 columns. So column 1 is the song list. This is everything that's in Music Play for that grade level for that month. Let's look at November instead. So here's November. Week 1 has these songs. Week 2, we're now into the week with next week is November 11th. And so Poppy's Red is a song relating to November 11th that 4-year-olds can understand. And then Teddy Bear, Ho Down, Ring Around the Rosie. I don't always do everything that's in my lesson. If it looks like it's getting to be too long, I very often will. And of course you can add those things in if you want, and you can do your own favorite songs. So for this box tells what you can do as a virtual teacher. So if you're online, be it synchronous or asynchronous, this is what's going to be in the online learning module. If you're in person, you absolutely can use these online learning modules, and you can use them if kids can't sing. You use the recordings and you do the movements, or you use it to teach concepts. I always say if I'm teaching a reading song, I'll have the kids do solfa hand signs with it. Or as I talked about in the first part of the webinar, I could play on Boomwhackers, the melodies. So the in-person is very close to what the online learning modules is going to have. So I'm going to click out of these, and I'm going to go to pre-K. That's where I click out of it. I go back to all modules, and I'm going to go to pre-K. So I select my grade here, I go to pre-K, and we're looking at November week 2. So our concepts are here. Not many concepts for this week. It's beat and do re mi, or mi re do. They're just going to experience it. A lesson outline is here, and that lesson outline mirrors what you do in month outlines. The I can statements are here. The supporting resources are being built by another staff member, another editor, and she goes through after I've built the modules and creates the printed resource. So this one's not up yet, but it will be up before the end of this week. I always start pre-K with the time for music, and this talks about tapping on the beat strips. We talked about beat strips in the first lesson of November. So if I want to screen share with you, and I want to keep my face in front of you, I'm not going to screen share this. I am going to do time for music on my second device, and then we'll just sing it together. Vocal exploration with shape cards. This video hasn't been built yet, but it's going to have shapes and then sounds, and the children will echo. Move to the beat 2. I actually haven't made this video yet, so that video is coming as well, but I'm going to create movements, and I'm going to ask that the kids copy me, and we'll put it on a green screen background so it looks kind of fun, and the video will be coming soon. If for some reason it doesn't get made, I'll put an audio track in, and then you could play freeze dance with it, or you could simply lead the movements. Here's the Poppies Red song for pre-K, and it's just poppies red, we thank our soldiers with poppies red. And one of the things that has been actually done but isn't up here yet, let's see if I have it here. There we go. We've got a beautiful pointing page made. And so the students would have this pointing page in front of them and point to the notes as we sing the song. Poppies red, we thank our soldiers with poppies red. And we ask them to draw a picture of someone that we thank by wearing a poppy. And for Americans, that's really a Canadian tradition, more so I think than an American tradition. Next in the lesson, we have Teddy Bear Hoedown. Now this is one, if I'm synchronous with my students, I'm not showing them the screen, I'm going to play it here, and then I'm going to show them the movements that they do. So, have a stretch, step up from away from your computer. Teddy Bear's clap your paws. Teddy bears, clap your paws. Turn around and bow on down. Teddy bears, clap your paws. We're gonna circle. And I'm gonna do this in place. We're gonna circle to the left. March around and sing this song. And circle to the left. Teddy bears, stand your feet. And I won't go through all of it. That's one where definitely I would have the kids stand up away from their screens and then do the movements with me, and I'd play it on second device. We do include a kids demo if you want to see the words, but really what you're dancing is the words of the song. This is a review from last week. I like puppies, woof, woof, woof. Fun little song for them. We did long and short vowels. Review, letter B says ba. Letter B says but, and then Bebop the Bear is a review from last week. And then for our American friends, we have an optional Thanksgiving activity to review the Turkey Tango. And that was taught in October, but you bring it back and you review it for Thanksgiving. Bear Hunt is a review again, and then we end with Skinnamarink Dink Dink. So those are all fun activities. That is for pre-K. You can use the pre-K program with your kindergartens or with your pre-K students if you do have pre-K. But I quite like the pre-K program. I actually really like the kindergarten program now that I'm going through and revisiting. So kindergarten lesson 10. And I'll change it on my iPad as well. So I go to kindergarten lesson 10. And here our concepts are beat, create actions, echo song, fast and slow. Fast and slow. So in the objectives, I can sing and move to music. I can identify fast and slow. I always start with welcome to music. Move to the beat. Here is the audio track. So it is a fun one. video is planned, but if we don't get the video up, you have the audio here to use in its place. Old Navy is a fun movement song, and we don't have a kids demo for this. So if anybody out there would like to make us a demo with your kindergarten children and you're able to do that, that would be lovely. But again, it's one of those where you make movements to, and I'll stand up and get a stretch from my computer. We're gonna march.
I may never march in the infantry, ride in the cavalry, shoot the artillery. I may never fly o'er the enemy, but I'm in the Old Navy.
Yes, sir.
I'm in the Old Navy.
Yes, sir.
I'm in the Old Navy.
Yes, sir.
I may never march in the infantry, ride in the cavalry, shoot the artillery. Never fly o'er the enemy, but I'm in the Old Navy.
Yes, sir. And it repeats, but I'm going to stop after one. The Take My Little Car for a Ride song is super fun. I do make up actions for this to go along with it, and this is our fast and slow example. If you've never seen this in a workshop, I hope you like the song. I'm gonna take my little car for a ride. Gonna take it for a ride. She's stepping inside. Gonna take my little car for a ride. Swish, swish. Swish, swish. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. And I'll step on the brakes. Woo-hoo!
Yes, officer?
Could you slow down a little, please?
Drive really slow in my car. Slow in my car. Gonna drive really slow. That's the way I have to go. And we don't have a kids demo of that song either, so it'd be really fun if anybody wants to sing. We have an interactive game here, the fast slow game, and it is number, I think it's right at the bottom. It's number 15, right at the bottom. And if we get all our answers right, is that fast or slow? And that's fast. If we get all our answers right, we dunk the guy. That's how we do the game, win the game. This song, Rainbow World, is lovely. You could do this in a virtual performance. And I had originally suggested scarves, but one of our favorite music play teachers did a beautiful performance of this with paper plates. I'm going to see if I can zoom ahead to where she does the plates with this. I love that look. This is a song that's lovely. It's in kindergarten. No reason you could not use that with K, 1, 2, 3. Just don't tell them. It's from kindergarten. And that choreography with the paper plates is absolutely beautiful. This is a review from last week. Tommy Thumb, Can't Wait to Hibernate is from last week, a review. Kumbaya was an optional song last week. Here's our Thanksgiving options for our American friends. Do the term pre-K, and here's the movements for it. And this is a cute little song that's about being thankful that I have a nose. I'm glad I have a nose. I'm glad I have a nose. So if you want to teach a song that is very relatable to Thanksgiving, that's a good one. And then we link you to an activity from the Thanksgiving unit. We actually link you right to the unit. And so our kindergartens could easily do. It's going to bring to end. Skip the Thanksgiving if you're not in the US, but there's lots of options for everybody, whether you're in the States or you're not. So I'm going to go back to my modules and I'm going to quickly look at grade 1. I'm going slower than I should be. So grade 1, we have the cuckoo singing game. Soul for practice. We have them echoing So and Me because the cuckoo game is a kid's demo of how it's played. I've got suggestions how to adapt for Zoom or for in-person. I have an interactive activity to name the Solva notes in the cuckoo song if your students are at that level. If they haven't named, if you haven't labeled So and Me yet, just leave that out. And then is it one sound or two? Figure out the rhythm. So coo, one sound, coo, one sound. Where are two sounds? You, and then there's no sound, coo, coo. And I could keep going with these interactive activities if I wanted and name. One sound on a beat is ta, two sounds on a beat is TT, or whatever the rhythm names are that you use. And so that's the reading part of it. We have a beautiful activity to trace and color the notes of the songs. Again, level isn't all that high at this part of the year, but we can still make them aware. And I can show you that even if I can't. Here's the cuckoo trace and color. It's done. I don't know if it's going to open for me. It's missing some fonts, but it's beautiful. It's a lovely worksheet, and your grade 1s, this will help motor practice to trace and color the notes. Then we get to listen to Cuckoo from the Carnival of the Animals and count how many times. There's one. I saw the cuckoo bird. Oh, there's two. And it goes on and you count how many times the cuckoo bird appears. And in the old days, before COVID, I would act that out. I'd have one child be the tree and another child be the cuckoo bird behind. And every time they'd hear the cuckoo in the piece, they'd peek out from behind. So I guess you could still do that, but you'd have to be spaced apart or wear masks for it. Peace in My Heart was taught last week. This is review. Just One Candle is review. A note, if you go to the Just One Candle on the song list, the sign language has been posted, instructions for doing this. This would be a great piece for your Christmas concert, for a holiday concert. So the sign language is an option if your students aren't allowed to sing. We had rhythm band in it. That's another option that you have. And again, this should be review for your students. Here's our Thanksgiving options. I'm thankful for the food we eat. Nope. And we have I Like Turkey. This is a chase game, and this shows how to play it, and you can, again, adapt it for your circumstances. We have 5 Fat Turkeys in grade 1, and again, we've played that as a game, and adaptations for Zoom or in person are here, and then the music time is over. So that's grade 1. Lots of good activities for either November 11th or Thanksgiving, or even your holiday concert, if you're already thinking about that. So grade 2, new this week, and it should be review if they've done Music Play 1, but they may not have. So welcome to music. Grand Old Duke of York, I do at a moderate, at allegro, and then at presto. So I do it at 3 tempos. And here's the tempos. Review the tempo terms. And this week, we've given them the wonderful tempo interactive activity. So I would suggest for grade 2s that you stick to the first 5 levels. And what you do is you choose a tempo. So if I want to make sure they know moderato, then we'll play, clap along with that. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2, ta, ta, 2, rest, ti, 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 ta, 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 2. I should have maybe tried largo first and practiced that up. But I can try each of the different tempos and then play them. 2. Here we go. Ta, ti, ti, 2. Ti, ti, ta, 2. Ti, 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 ta, ta, sh, 2. And I'll stop there. So that tempo interactive is new for this week for our 2nd graders. Doggy Doggy is guessing game. I use it for assessing, pitch matching. That's what I've always used it for. In this new world where we're not singing so much, again, we're going to have to adapt the guessing game to whatever our situation is. If you're on Zoom, you can have one child close their eyes and choose the doggy, and the child with the eyes closed, the doggy is going to unmute and sing, "Who has my bone?" And the one with the eyes closed is going to have to unmute and guess who it was in their class that was singing. If you're in person and can't sing, you say it, "Who has my bone?" And the person who's got the bone says, "I have your bone." And you can still play the recording for them so they hear the song and get those pitches in their head, but play the game differently. This is a review, and again, this is for November 11th or for your holiday concerts. Sing for Peace, Make a Difference, beautiful song any time of the year. And then Thanksgiving options. This one is fun. Thanks a lot for hands that clap. Thanks a lot for hands that clap. Thanks a lot for hands that clap. Thank you for my hands. And my all-time favorite turkey game. I'm the fastest turkey. I'm the fastest turkey in the barnyard. You can't catch me. You can't catch me for Thanksgiving. And again, suggestions are given for adapting it for either Zoom or for in-person. If you can go outside and play it, great. I have had reports that people are using pool noodles to tag, play tag games, and that works as long as you have lots of pool noodles. So you have to cut them the specified distance and then make sure you have a way to sanitize them. Grade 2. Grade 3 for November week 2. Has a new song, and this new song is Children Together. It's a lovely song. So they're going to review from last week, Nothing But Peace, and practice either desk drumming or bucket drumming. And there we have part 2, and there we have part 3. So this is fun, and they're not so terribly hard that your grade 3s can't do them, hard enough that it will challenge them. Review the song Remember Flanders Fields if you worked on it last week. And then Children Together is new song, and it's a song with a really nice message. Children together can sing a song. Children together show us how to get along. In a world where hatred is in the news each day, let the children show us the way. So a very good message for that song. There's a listening selection, and they've been working on woodwind instruments. So this is, again, another good opportunity to learn about woodwind instruments. We have them watch the Woodwind Family, and then we have some Thanksgiving options for our American teachers. Turkey Lurkey is a chase game. You can watch the kids demo. We've got adaptations for it, and we do have a nice I'm thankful This song was in the Boomwhacker unit as well. So if you want to play this on Boomwhackers instead of singing, you certainly could. And of course, this is much faster than the Boomwhacker version of it was. But it was in the 7-note section of the Boomwhackers in the first part of this webinar. And then a link to the Thanksgiving unit. These are the options that you have. We Are Thankful Children is a beautiful choral piece. Thanksgiving Wishes is the poem that you can create an accompaniment for, and a word rhythm activity. And these all, both the poem and the word rhythm, have different levels of ability. For example, if you're doing the poem and you want to do something really easy, accompany with just 2 kinds of rhythm instruments. If you want to make it more challenging, add more. Okay, that was 3rd grade. Let's look at 4th grade. So 4th grade, again, there's quite, 4th grade didn't appear on here, and that's my bad. It's there, it's just not gotten. 4th grade, we're going to review Shine a Light for Peace, the rhythm band play along. We're going to learn about the brass family and do a brass family worksheet. And then we're going to do the cup game for Fig Leaf Rag, which is played by the Canadian Brass. So they get to learn about the brass family and then do a cup game on the brass family. And that will be lesson 10 for grade 4s. And I apologize for that not being there. Grade 5, lesson 10. Reviewing, because I did a lot last week. There was a lot in their lesson last week. So review the raindrops round. Last week we worked on 16th notes. Hopefully this week they can read them. Review the song Shalom. Last week we learned the sign language for Shalom. Hopefully it's something that they can remember if that's something you worked on last week. Here's the rhythm band accompaniment for Dona Nobis Pacham. Here's the play along for that. So if you did that last week, you can review it this week. If you didn't do it last week, great activity. Here's the bucket drum parts for Nothing But Peace. Again, these are challenging enough for your 5th grade, but still by your younger ones, and especially if they go through the demos of each of these and then practice, and then they can play with the entire song. And I've decided to focus on instruments of the orchestra in the whole month of November in grades 4, 5, and 6. So in grade 5, we're going to do the same activity, learn about the brass family. We're going to link to a performance by a brass quintet. And this is a piece that we actually have in the listening kits. And we'll do some other activities with as well. But it's always nice for the kids to be able to see a live performance. And then they're going to do a worksheet on the instruments of the orchestra or draw their own pictures if they don't have a printer. Thanksgiving options, we just send them to the Thanksgiving unit, and there's lots of options there for your 5th graders. For 6th grade or 7th grade or 8th grade, our middle school students, first week of November, we did 2 big pieces, the Dona Nobis Pacham Rhythm Band, and we did the bucket drums with Nothing But Peace. So review both of those. Here's the review for Nothing But Peace. And in our middle school, we're also going to review the instruments of the orchestra. So brass family, watch performance, do a worksheet. And I'm going to add in here as well the cup game with the Fig Leaf Rag, because I think it's lots of fun. And I think it's a great way for kids to do something actively while they're listening to classical music. And then I've got the grades 6, 7, and 8s started on the game. What instrument did you hear? It's number 2. You try and turn the frog into a prince. I want to make this frog a prince. So I touch the frog to play the sound. And if I get it right, I hear this. And if I get enough right over the course of the game, I turn my frog. And so this is my trumpet. So I'll just take you to that Fig Leaf Rag. If I go to, in fact, I'm going to find it via the search engine. Fig leaf. And it's in grade 4, so I'm going to go to I want the cup game easy is where I want to go. And I do teach a nice, easy cup game that you can play. If you're doing this with 6th graders, do the challenge version. Make it harder for them. So there's lots of options. If I want to do the harder game, there we go. There's a harder game with lots more patterns. So you can pick the level that you want to be at. So this is our online learning modules for November week 2. And you can now download November and December outlines on the website in the general module. We'll go back to here and show you again where it is. It's the month outlines here. And unlike the first times that I had posted this, I've now posted them by grade level. So it goes pre-KK, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can download and print, or you can simply download and have them available to you and just read it. So that's how I download it. I will save it to my desktop. And in person and virtually with your students. And I really hope this is saving you lots of planning time by at least giving you a Thank you so much. I will be happy to answer any questions that you have. If you don't post your question in the chat, you can always email me, denise@musicplay.ca. Thanks so much. Hi, so nice to have you with me today. Not very many questions, and I'm really glad for the question that was asked. The question was, what songs would you use for Boomwhackers for students in grades 1? And I forgot in the Boomwhacker part of the presentation to talk about scale songs. There is lots and lots of scale songs in Music Play. In fact, in my last newsletter, I posted a list in the newsletter. So in kindergarten, on my toe there is a bee, now he's crawling up on me. In grade 1, there's the elevator, there's Jack and Jill. In kindergarten, there's autumn leaves. And then when we start having snow on the ground, we've got the Snowman Joe. So there's 5 really good scale songs to pick from. And what you do with those grade 1 and 2 kids is you divide your Boomwhackers up so that each child has one note of the scale. So a group with C, a group with D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then if you can't sing, you play the recording, but slow it down with that gear wheel tool to as slow as you can. And the kids actually play the rhythm of the words while they're playing their Boomwhackers. Really, you can try, I've tried my 2nd graders on the reading sequence, the C, D, E, F, G songs, and see how they do. If it's too hard for them, back up a little bit and do the 4-note songs or the 3-note songs. And of course, with your reading songs, which is probably the core of what I teach in 1st and 2nd grade is my reading songs. That's my core. We can't sing this year. So for anything like Engine, Engine, play it on Boomwhackers. Hot Cross Buns, play it on Boomwhackers. Any of your reading songs, give out the Boomwhackers and get the kids to play it. If you have any other questions that I haven't answered, please email me, denise@musicplay.ca. I'm very happy to answer any email questions that you have. I'm on Facebook enough to, and especially if you tag me when you have a question about the site and you post it on Facebook. Make sure and tag me so that I see a notification and get it. I hope that you all have a really great week coming up. I hope we're making your lives a little bit easier with all this stuff. In the coming weeks, I am going to be putting lots of holiday concert options out for you. We've got a list going now. Let's go through my list. What do you do for a holiday concert when you can't sing? So songs where you do sevens with the songs. Cup games. We're going to make you some cup games. The bucket drumming that we've done for Remembrance Day is going to work really well for your holiday concerts as well. Boomwhackers. We're going to do some performance pieces with Boomwhackers. We've got a book of Christmas music lessons that has African Noel. It has Christmas chopsticks. Those are fun to play on Boomwhackers and do a performance with them. We're going to do some more rhythm band. The rhythm band that we've done for Dona Nobis Pacem be lovely for Christmas. Same with Just One Candle. And even though it's a grade 1 piece, you can do it with your 2s or 3s. We've had a request for Little Drummer Boy rhythm band. We may do something with that. We'll see if that can be done. The plates, I was inspired when I saw Dana Hero's choreography with those colored paper plates. So we're going to give you some more Christmas pieces with plates or with scarves. And even if your kids are standing 6 feet apart while you video them, it'll still look beautiful. Flashlights, lights, and black light movement. Those are another set of ideas that would be really fun with some Christmas songs. Sign language. Our ASL interpreter for us, Judy Thomas, has done Just One Candle in sign language. So if you want a challenge, again, I don't think I'd do this with 1st grade, but I would do this with 3rd or with 4th grade. Lovely piece and do it. I have a pair of line dancing instructors who are working on Christmas pieces for line dancing. Dancing and movement is always great for your concerts, whether it's holiday concerts or spring concerts. Audiences and movement things. So we'll be adding those Christmas line dances as soon as our choreographers and lesson instructors have finished those. We have Christian, our body percussion expert, doing a body percussion arrangement to African Noel. And I'm really looking forward to getting Christian's arrangement of that. So in the next coming week's webinars, we'll be posting lots of these ideas. First half hour of the webinar will be on cup games or on bucket drumming or on sevens. And then the second half of the webinar will be on the lesson modules for the upcoming week, so we can do a quick overview of what's there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I think this might be our last night with beautiful weather in Alberta before the snow hits again this weekend. So thank you and good night.